There were tears of joy this afternoon as residents of a small West Auckland community learned their homes were safe from demolition. Oratia had battled Watercare, a subsidiary of Auckland Council, since February, after more than a dozen families were warned they could be uprooted to make way for a new water treatment plant. Obviously the city needs it, but Watercare's board today unanimously accepted a second option, essentially saying it preferred to destroy trees than homes. Zach Fleming was there and spoke to residents straight after the announcement.
Tears of relief, high fives and hugs all round as Oratia residents learn their homes are safe.
Oh, darn, just incredibly relieved. I guess, the community's been living on a knife edge for the last 4 months. People have been anxiety and been able to sleep, so there's a lot of the community that will sleep easy tonight knowing that they're not going to be forcibly removed from their homes.
The small West Auckland community rallied quickly earlier this year after learning up to 18 homes could be demolished to make way for a new water treatment plant. More than 1,000 people attended local meetings, a website was set up and signs of support littered the surrounding area. Even local resident and Deputy Prime Minister Paula Bennett weighed in, saying Oratia was the wrong choice.
I know the distress that it's caused to a lot of residents to think that they might be displaced and not have alternatives actually to replace what they thought they were going to lose, so I'm thrilled for them.
The community have got each other's back, they've rallied, they've worked hard, thousands of hours by thousands of people. Everyone is so incredibly proud to be part of Oratia and be part of that.
The epicentre was Parker Road, a long winding cul-de-sac that residents said was one of the last remaining semi-rural havens of Auckland. Its northern end was identified as one of two best options to replace the 87-year-old Huia water treatment plant, which treats around 20% of Auckland's water. The second option, which was unanimously approved by Watercare's board today, was nearby Manuka Road, which is native bush. Watercare's infrastructure and environmental manager Mark Bourne today said Manuka Road was chosen because it's easier to mitigate a loss of vegetation than a loss of homes.
And that really was highlighted through the last phase of the project, which included community consultation, but perhaps more importantly our independent expert in terms of social impact assessment, where we interviewed over 50 interviews. I think some 150 individual people were interviewed through that process.
And that's exactly what people like Tina Lee Viskovich have been saying for months. She grew up on Parker Road. Checkpoint visited her and her family earlier this year.
My mum's just taken in a foster child this year as well, who's already been to too many different houses this year, and we've promised him this is his forever home, and now he's standing out on the front lawn with a sign saying, "Please don't take my home."
Today, after learning her home was safe, she was overcome with emotion.
Mind-blowing. It's just been such an extremely intense journey. For 3.5 months, hardly anyone slept. So it's going to be a big party tonight and then a big sleep for everybody. They're already out there. I've just spoken to, everybody's gathered at a wedding venue out on Parker Road. I think there's over 100 people there, and we've just given them the news now, and I could just hear everybody screaming and crying in the background. I just can't wait to be back there and hugging them all.
A Watercare board member did today express concern there would be pushback from, quote, people who love the trees by choosing Manuka Road. The company says it will bolster efforts to minimise the adverse effects on trees and establish a community liaison group.
I think the community's voice will be heard through the next process. I think one of the important things that up until now, the consultation we've undertaken has been of a voluntary nature. As we move through the process and actually start to apply for consents, a statutory process kicks in.
Watercare says it will apply for resource consent later this year. All going well, the new plant is expected to be completed by 2023. For Checkpoint, Zach Fleming.